can see what this Asmongold drama is. Her Asmongold hit piece backfired horribly. The UN doesn't want to censor normal anime. They want to censor child PDF and exploitation of women, which is fair. I have no idea what this is, but I assume this is about lollies. So let's take a look at this.
Hey, what's up, guys? Riff here.
What's up?
So today we're going to be talking about a video that's making the rounds on social media for all the wrong reasons.
Oh, okay.
It comes from a channel titled Catastrophic Claire Rar.
Ooh, and you can see she's not really a small channel either. Wait. She has 213,000 subs. But she released a video 3 weeks ago and only had 1.2k views. Ew. Oh god.
Yes, very Rar XD, Quirk Chungus, Hot Topic, etc., etc. But the video people are talking about is her latest one titled Japan Wants to Censor Anime Asmongold Reaction. Now, in this video, not only does she call out Asmongold, but she also calls out the entire anime and manga industry, as well as Japanese society, which according to her is so predatory and dangerous, pretty much no woman is safe in Japan. Now, let's start with the thumbnail itself. It is pretty heinous. It is implying very heavily that Asmongold is trying to protect predators.
Oh,
now, what justifies...
Of course he is. Of course, the neck-beard guy want to protect predators. I want to know what he said because I've not paid attention. I've been so busy. Like, he's obviously not saying that. I bet there's something completely different he's trying to say. He even hates lolly shit. I've heard him talk about like hate on lolly shit a million times. I bet he said something completely different. But like, let's see what this is about.
In her mind, this slander, well, it comes from a clip from a recent Asmongold video where he's talking about censorship of anime and manga.
It's about going in favor of free expression and free speech without having a unelected cabal of companies acting as a cartel that are behaving as censors for that speech and expression.
Like, it's just so sad that people are saying this and it's just going unchecked, and I just wanted to say my piece on it.
So what the hell went through her brain when he said that? Like, Elise, what do y'all think when he said that? Because in my brain, good one. Like, in my head, it sounded like he doesn't want people to dictate art. Like, in this sort of sense, at least when it comes creating media. Now, it's not pure PDF content, right? It's more like it's just a child, right? And I think that their point is that now we don't want to have any children animated ever is probably the point. And the point is that that's what I'm kind of getting from it, that there shouldn't be like a rule set that are constantly berating you and controlling what the hell you're creating. Because what's the point of art form if you're not allowed to express it? Like, I think there's common decencies that allow you to think for a second way. Now, this is fucked up. And I think that most of those scenarios where people like maybe her and others are thinking this is fucked up, is not the normal reaction of people. Like, I think the issue is whenever people go to that mindset, they are the problem really most of the time, because their brain is in the gutter. I don't know what the hell goes through there, but probably somebody should check that up. I see blonde hair. Is that blonde? That looks like yellow. That ain't blonde. That's like strong yellow. Like, I don't know. That's weird. That's like paint. But anyways, it's a very strong yellow too. I don't know. I think her hair, like, I say this strong yellow, but this is like highlight. I think her hair is cool. I like her outfit. I think she looks cool. Like, I like this makeup. She looks fucking cool. She's badass. But I'm not talking about her looks. We're talking about her opinions now, or what the hell she's yapping about.
So basically, what Asmongold is saying is that groups like the United Nations or payment processors like Visa or MasterCard should have no say in the 100%. Production of anime and manga in 100%. Japan. And hot take, he's correct.
Yes.
These organizations have really no sense being involved with these things. It's way beyond their reach. They shouldn't be controlling what's going on in the anime and manga industries.
And the biggest issue with this is that they have a Western view on things, and they're trying to backfire on like a Japanese view on what's acceptable there and what's fine there. Like, if your Western standards are like so completely deranged and you're thinking about the worst scenarios ever and the worst mindset ever, Like, this does not collaborate with another kind of view at all. Like, they don't have the same view on things like you do. So whenever like a Western company like MasterCard is going to try to dictate on a cultural art form, it's weird.
And anyone who disagrees with that has to basically bootlick the United Nations, which we'll talk about them later in the video. They are a terrible
United
organization
Nations
that has been going after Japan for decades now, trying to demonize and categorize a lot of fictional content as illegal, as she will do in her own video. So let's let her continue on. This is actually from one of the clips she posted herself on a Twitter, but let's give it a listen.
She has a community note, y'all. I wonder what this says.
But in 2024, it's still legal to own anime and manga child pornography. And let me tell you, it is a booming industry.
So, as always, I think there's something very disturbing about likening real-life victimization to manga panels. But, as always, if you don't like certain aspects of anime or manga or just fictional content generally, that's okay. That's your prerogative. You're allowed to not like things. But it doesn't justify you demonizing and attacking an entire nation of people as well as the related mediums. And on top of that, if you're going to create this standard for other people where in the video she says if a character's under 18 and sexualized, that's CP. Well, that standard's not going to just be applied to the people you're attacking. It's also going to be applied to yourself. And if you look through her Twitter account, I mean, you have characters like this from Sailor Moon. This character's 16 years old. She made AI-generated art with...
That is the worst thing of them all. So she even used AI-generated art. Oh, God. So she, like, I mean, that makes sense why she has these opinions. She has no respect for the artist itself. She has no respect for Japan as a culture itself. She has no respect or care for other people's opinions. She doesn't give a fuck. She's just AI generating images and sitting there talking about being hateful because, I don't know, maybe it's the way for her to get clicks. I don't know.
Obviously some sexual aspects to it with the hashtag
I expect standard for so these people. They don't have standards at all.
And same character with hashtag thick thighs posting this that she created with AI.
I think the weirdest thing, and you can see there is an issue with these people. You can see there is an issue with these people whenever they are focusing on sexualized thoughts around children, and their whole persona, whole identity is around sexualizing characters themselves. Like, they're obviously down the gutter only thinking about sex. So why wouldn't they think about other people whenever they draw at children that they also would think about sex? Because this is where their mind goes. It goes down to the gutter of the nastiest wild pit. Like, you see a dad kissing his child and this girl will probably bat an eye and be like, what the fuck is going on? I've seen this a few times on Twitter, unfortunately, and I don't understand, like, how do you get to this kind of, like, brain rot?
As well, that would make her a hypocrite under her own standards. On top of that, she's a big Evangelion fan. I mean, if you've watched the anime, you know.
Aren't they all like 16 and shit there? They're all teenagers in Evangelion. Like, they're fucking all teenager. What the hell? And there's so much lewdness in that in the series. 14? Yeah, so isn't the main? Yeah, the one is 14 too. Dude, bro, they are fucking naked in that show, bro. What the hell are you yapping about?
There's a lot of fan service featuring underage characters, so clearly she either didn't watch this or she's just a massive hypocrite. And of course, you know, because I always check this.
Real one. Whoever put this in, absolute real one. The voice is Hugh Jackman, by the way. And he plays the Easter Bunny.
Uh-huh.
Oh, he's so great. I love his voice in this movie. I love his character in this movie. He's such like a hard ass rabbit. And you don't see it a lot. So yes, definitely smash.
Oh, she's a furry. Okay, listen. First of all, if you're a furry, is whatever, man. You like whatever the fuck you want. I don't see why this is an argument to it. But I think this adds on to my point earlier. Her whole focus is about sex. She's only focusing about sex. Sex of anime characters and sex about furries and all of this shit. Like, obviously her brain is only thinking about this one thing.
Ding, 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 she's a furry too. Yeah,
my kink okay, your kink bad. The thing is that she thinks everybody else has a kink for things. She's not thinking that people like anything else. She thinks that they see something and they have a kink for it. And that's the problem with her brain. Like, that's the problem with her thought structure. She's thinking everybody looks at something and has a kink for it.
Much anytime you see someone talking about
brain,
anime and manga and trying to...
I'm, by the way, impressed she is constantly coloring her hair. I hope these are wigs, because like if you dye your hair this much, bro, this is awesome. But like at the same time, if you dye your hair this much, you're probably going to go bald at some point. This is insane.
Demonize it. They almost always consume the exact same content themselves. And on top of that,
also, by the way, there's also big argument. Like, I'm not going to get onto this, but like there's a big argument that are negative toward furries as well. So like, I don't think you would really feel like if everybody would put you on the spot as well like that.
They're a furry. It pretty much happens every single time. But let's continue on with her clip here.
You can literally go nearly to any massive manga stores and areas in the major cities in Japan.
Okay.
And you will find areas of that manga store that is specifically for Lolita characters.
So
Lolita is such a big like fashion trend in Japan for a long time. So you're thinking about their cultural interest and going against that? Are you you're so, this is so annoying. Like I will be real with you. I hate these people like that act like this. Like, how can you go to someone else's country and look at their culture and their mediums and their medias and be like, this is awful, this is bad, just because you are a different, completely deranged view on it?
This is a very simple point, but it's definitely always worth making. If she considers this stuff in the background to be CP, by her own standard, she downloaded it, probably uncensored, and then posted it for thousands of people to see online. By her own standard, she just downloaded and then redistributed CP. Like, are you crazy in your mind or something? Like, why would you ever think this is okay while you're demonizing it at the same time? It's just, it just shows how stupid.
Oh, I have a really stupid deranged point, by the way, because we're talking about animated characters. Most animals die under the age of 18. So if you like furry shit, you're always watching CP stuff. So you're under this category if you're going to use your logic.
All these arguments are and how hypocritical all these people are.
Characters. And Lolita, if you don't know what that means, it means young girl. And
it literally just means like cute fashion, by the way.
This is the problem that the UN wants them to address. Honestly, I don't care if the character is over 18. If the character is over 18, I'm just going to be like, cool. Yeah, whatever you're into, man. If you want to look at that, that's cool. But not children. That is so up.
I want to say something that I'm not going to, it's very hard to explain this, but understand that the age of consent is always different in every other culture and every other country. And I think that this is more to do with your human deception of what is right and what is wrong and what you yourself you're fine with in a sort of way. And I think that whenever you look at this, age of 18 is like, it's a number that everybody's focusing on. If you're 30 years old and you're dating an 18-year-old, I would still bat an eye and be like, what the fuck? I would not date an 18-year-old when I'm 30 years old. And I don't see I don't see like a difference between that if like a 22-year-old dated like a 17-year-old, just because it's one difference apart. Like, it's more this focus on fixation on the American law and like, I think I don't even know where she's from, but most places in damn Europe is 16 age of consent and 14. So I don't know what the hell this focus on.
So she's
don't tell Kendrick about it. You mean Drake?
She's saying this is all about protecting kids and it's only targeting the specific types of characters she's talking about. But that's a gross.
To be honest, 17 and 22 is also world apart. That was my point. Sorry, I didn't explain that enough. That's my point. They're the same comparable as 18 to 30. That was my point, by the way, just so you understand. My point is that number itself of 18 being the hit mark does not matter. It does not, you don't turn into magically an adult just from 1 year. Like, it's a big difference whenever you're like 13 to 15. I get that. But there's not really that crazy big of a difference from 17 to 18. Like, at least not for me. I don't think so. I don't know about y'all. Did your whole life change when you turned 18 from 17? I doubt it. But my point B is that it's more of like everybody's focusing on the rule set of some different country, while their even country has another rule set. And I think just this fixation about this specific age is weird, because, like, let's be real. If you're dating a fucking kid or a young teenager as a grown adult, you should more think about that more than anything else.
This representation of what they're trying to do at the UN. So here's what they're actually doing. They've been targeting Japan for many, many years, and they can't really explain why they're singling out Japan in the first place. But anyways, this is what they're talking about with some of these pushes that the United Nations are doing. The final observation expressed concern that pornography, video games, manga, and other animated products may promote gender and sexual orientation-based violence against women and girls, and recommended that existing legal measures and monitoring programs be effectively implemented to address the production and distribution of pornography, video games, and animated products that promote discriminatory gender stereotypes and reinforce sexual violence against women and girls. So it's not just these specific young characters she's talking about. It's anything that promotes discriminatory gender stereotypes, whatever the hell that...
What does that mean? What does this mean? Discriminatory gender stereotypes. Bro, we gotta lay down. I think we gotta lay down. Like, what the hell is happening? What is going on? Why are we always segregating each other? Why are we always... Like, this is a point about human psychology. Why do we always have to separate each other so much about all of this nonsense? Why does it always have to be about genders and sexes and about the races and about all of the interests battles? You like this music? Do you like this kind of movie type? Like, why is it always got to be a war between everything, man? This is so exhausting. And I bet these words are old, but I bet nobody in the world of 1980s would ever say discriminatory gender stereotypes. I doubt anybody would say that, but it's becoming like a thing to say now. It's just so weird.
That means, and
answer ignorance.
Without any sort of research or basis to make these claims, they say that these things in fictional content are somehow leading to real life abuse. These people are basically just a repackaging
it's a broad
90s
statement. That's
soccer
true.
Moms who used to say violent video games make violent people, right? It's the same argument. It's just so woke.
Research shows that men find most women attractive around the age of 20, and women find most men attractive around the age of 50. So it's perfectly natural for a 20-year-old woman to date a 50-year-old man. That's a very interesting thing, because I feel like you're kind of right. I don't know. Like, I don't know how many girls have been like hyped about silver-haired guys before and older men, but yeah. They age like wine, and then I know dudes how they think. So yeah,
it's backwards.
I mean, there's always the preferences in the end of the day, but like maybe the majority has that view. I don't know.
And now we're having people trying to justify these connections between anime, manga, and what have you to...
True, Vermit, but really, do we need research when we have two eyes and common sense? It's human nature. True. Like, that's the thing. People they don't use their eyes, their ears, or think for themselves, or use any critical thinking like that.
Predatory behavior, and the only thing they're working on is their own emotions. They have no actual proof of anything. And looking at the standard about promoting discriminatory gender stereotypes, I mean, I'm pretty sure this is the kind of stuff they're talking about. This is one of her own posts from very recently. I mean, look at not only the character.
Hashtag Gooner, hashtag anime girl, hashtag trading card game, hashtag succubus, hashtag goon. She had to do it again. Hashtag degen. Oh shit. Yeah, this is the warrior. Everybody that hates PDF anime stuff or Lolita content wants to have by their back. Yep.
That would probably fall under these United Nations standards here, but also the hashtags. It's got to put out hashtag gooner, hashtag goon, hashtag degen. Very interesting stuff. But let's talk about the UN for a second. So I can't imagine bootlicking the United Nations. It couldn't be me.
Listen, my view on this, I'm gonna be real with y'all. Like, as long as you're an adult and you love each other, are happy, both consenting adults. I'm talking about adults. I'm not talking about teenagers and adults. You do whatever you fucking want. That's not my life. That's your life. You do whatever you want. Like, you have your preferences. You have your love life. We live once. If you find somebody that is younger and older than you, and they are a pure perfection of your personality, and you guys are matching so well as two consenting adults, you guys have a great life. Get married, have fun, do whatever you want. It's none of my business. But this, we're talking now about, like, this conversation is more like, again, we're kind of derailing away. This is more about like a culture focus on a fashion trend and a type of trend that are in the media. And we're like, everybody is mixing this with PDF. Well, there's nothing to do with it.
They are pretty much what is the equivalent of an international criminal organization. What else do you describe them as? So even some of the top children's rights officials in the United Nations have been jailed for charges relating to the abuse of children. In fact, there are endless articles you can find that are just so beyond disturbing. Report finds UN employs 3,300 predators responsible for 60,000 R words in the last 10 years.
Damn.
Here's another one saying UN peacekeepers ran a child S-ring in Haiti, and it goes on and on and on. Like, they are genuinely a very dangerous.
UN peacekeeper ran, what the fuck? And these are the people that want to suppress the media in a different culture? That is tragic and sad. The world is evil. That's just a factor. So why the fuck are they focusing on this media when they can focus on actual situation where people are scarred for the rest of their life?
Organization, and you have to rely on their word and what they're trying to do to justify banning anime and manga. Like, these people are not to be trusted whatsoever. But she continues on here.
And that's what the UN wants them to address, because it's actually scary being a woman in Japan. They literally have specific train carriages that women can take to not share carriages with.
I will be real with you. Japan is an extremely safe country. But as someone that has lived there, it is not wrong that there's a lot of SA situations in Japan. There's a lot of them. And I think there was like something, I remember when I was there, somebody told me, this is not a fact, it's not something I've researched. Somebody in Japan, a girl, I think she's like, was 29, a 29-year-old woman, told me in Japan that nearly every single girl here has had a SA situation once they're an adult. Like, so it is a problem, definitely. But I can't really comment anymore about that. That's a completely different issue, though. That has nothing to do with the culture or anything.
With men during busy travel times so that they don't get sexually abused.
And to be honest, like, this world is awful regardless. Like, let's be real for a second. I like she has hashtag Irish, hashtag OTK, hashtag Asmongold. That's funny. But yeah, my point is like this world is evil regardless. Like, even in our day, I bet in Ireland, even people have like awful scenarios happening. I don't see any reason for any precautions for women or men to just be like, just for safety, for younger ones or anything like that. I don't see anything wrong with adding a train that is only pure women, or a pure women gym, or pure male gym. I don't see anything wrong with that, because it's like, if you have like, people have mental anxieties about different genders and stuff, different sexes and stuff. So if you have that, you're just adding an extra option to help people. I don't see anything wrong with this. It sounds like a W for Japan to add that sort of thing. But yeah.
Used or touched inappropriately, or have pictures of their upskirts taken. Just trying to get home.
Yeah, it's low, Vermit is low.
So this pretty much is where it always ends up, right? So it begins with, I don't like this anime and manga, blah, 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 blah. And then it turns into just, well, I mean, what else do you call it? Racism. They're basically trying to imply that the entire nation of Japan is so predatory that no woman is safe in that country. And it's an absolutely outrageous thing to say. Yes, there are sex crimes in Japan, just like there are
everywhere in the goddamn world. It happens everywhere, both for men and women. It doesn't matter. The world is evil
throughout the entire world, but it doesn't make Japan unique in any sort of a way. And the only justification this person has is because they produce anime and manga, which that somehow makes them special. I mean, of course, reported sex crimes are sometimes a misleading number because people...
Bro, wait, you're telling me Ireland is #1 and she's Irish? Damn, that's crazy. Yo. Ooh, that's crazy, guys. Bro, cancel Ireland.
People just don't report that they're victimized. But this person's from Ireland.
But they're not #1, but they're higher than Japan. That's all that matters, I guess. But yeah, I mean, like, the thing is that people don't report on Japan. I will just say it right now. Like, I've been told, like, this isn't from Japanese, like, people from Japan itself that's told me. I don't do research on it. This is a weird topic. I'm not going to research on this either. But like, people don't tend to report this, like, because they say it's common.
Trying to be a white savior and wagging their finger.
The point being is that this is about a report, right? Regardless if your country's high on this list, this is nothing really to say in reality, because like the factor is that things happens everywhere in the world, unfortunately.
Japan. Look at the rates at Ireland versus Japan. Again, reports aren't the most reliable thing, but I think maybe, just maybe, you should sit this conversation out. But let's wrap this up here. One more
doesn't make it better,
to listen to.
And I think if you're a real person with a real conscience and your heart goes out to the women of Japan who have to put up with these men, then you should be on the side of UN for them to be more censored.
I bet she's,
and not allow for this to happen.
I bet she's been to Japan and spoken to every woman there, and she knows exactly what they feel. She's truly out there for everybody.
No words, ladies and gentlemen. You have to take the side of the UN here and ban this anime and manga. Otherwise, you just don't care about women. I guess that's the route we're going with this one. This is insane. Also, I think her mind would explode if she found out that a very large portion of hentai artists are women. So, like, what are we... it's all just men? This went from, I don't like anime and manga, to there's a big predatory problem in Japan, and also Japanese men are somehow uniquely dangerous. I mean, that's...
most of these Lolita content and most games as well that are like sexual, like anime sexual, they're all made by women, by the way. All made by Korean, Japanese, and Chinese women. All of them. Like, there's very few games that are very few famous mediums or medias that are out there of anime that are made by men in this kind of manner. Ironically,
all you had to do was say, I don't like these things in certain anime and manga, I'm just going to avoid them. But no, it goes to this level, and it always does for some reason. But that's going to do it for this video. I thought this was pretty insane, so I wanted to talk about this with you guys. As always, feel free to share your thoughts about today's topics in the comment section down below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.
W video. I do want to say though, all the girlies in chat has been very quiet on this topic, because I get that this is like, I wasn't really expecting it to go to this way. I thought it was something else. But I get that this is like a very very specific, hard-putting point to talk about. And I think that in the end of the day, like, the whole conversation got blown out of the water, completely different direction. When we're talking about is the media. We're talking about an art form of a culture that is completely like just focused on like it's just for fun, for fashion. But like, for some reason, Western View had to turn it to something deranged, something weird that we don't even want to discuss, because it's not where our minds are at. So I apologize for that. But if you have any thoughts, feel free to tell me down below. Like this video if you enjoyed it. Sub to the channel if you want to yap more, and come by my Twitch channel on twitch.tv/Adley. And yap with us live. I appreciate y'all watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a good one. Peace.